Israel, where 3 hostages kidnapped on October 7th are back home after 484 days in Hamas captivity. That includes the first American hostage to be set free since the ceasefire deal went into effect. Keith Siegel was released just hours ago from Gaza City. His wife, Aviva, who was also taken hostage but released after 51 days, seen here celebrating her husband's release. Now, throughout the over 400 days he remained in captivity, she vocally called for his return. Yarden, Bibas, and Ofer Calderon were also released in an earlier handoff in Khan Yunis. Today marks the 4th hostage prisoner exchange of this phase 1 so far. Hundreds still gathering this morning in Tel Aviv's Hostage Square to welcome the newly freed hostages home. We're taking a live look at Hostage Square. You see a lot of them just waiting and hoping to get more information. I'm sure relieved to see the hostages being released. Here with us now is Telegraph correspondent Jotam Confino, live in Israel for us. Always great to see you, Jotam. Good morning from New York. We mentioned American Keith Siegel is among the 3 released today. What do we know about the 2 other hostages also released a few hours ago?
So if we start with Yarden Bibas, we can talk about his family, because his family, mainly his wife and his 2 children, they have become somewhat of a symbol for Israel in this whole hostage strategy, mainly because they are very young. Kfir Bibas, the youngest of his children, he was nine months old when he was kidnapped, and his brother Ariel was 4 years old. Now, Kfir has turned 2 while in captivity, so he spent his first 2 days in Hamas captivity, and also his brother also celebrated birthday in there. But we don't know if they're alive, and that is the main point here. Yarden does not know if his wife and 2 children are alive or dead. He was told by Hamas in November 2023, when he was forced to do a hostage video, that his wife and children had been killed in an Israeli airstrike. But we don't know if this is true. So he's come out now, obviously relieved to be out, but his nightmare is nowhere near ending. He's waiting for the Israeli government to find out more about his family. Then you have Ofer Calderon, who was reunited with his 4 children, 2 of whom also were held by Hamas. They were kidnapped on October the 7th from their home as well. They were released in the November 2023 ceasefire. But he's reunited with them. He's clearly very happy. But as for Yarden, I think he's really going into a very, very difficult period.
That must be so bittersweet as we look at pictures of his beautiful children and family. What is the latest we're hearing on Keith Siegel reuniting with his family, Jotam?
So Keith Siegel is a different case, first of all, because he's much older. He's 65 years old. And as you also saw in the footage coming out of Gaza City where he was paraded on the stage, he looks very fragile. He looks thin. He's being escorted by Hamas. It doesn't look like he's really able to walk fully by himself. But he's out now, and his wife and his son, they're waiting for him. They actually are reunited now. And she has been campaigning like, I would say, very few people. She has been traveling all around the world. She has been in Washington several times, speaking with high-level officials to get Keith out. And she thanked Donald Trump this morning for finalizing the deal to get him out.
And Jotam, we know hostage negotiations resume on Tuesday. What can we expect at this stage?
Well, on Tuesday, we have 2 interesting things happening. First of all, the negotiations between Hamas and Israel will continue. That is per the agreement. 16 days into the ceasefire, they will continue negotiating the implementation of the 2nd phase, where all male soldiers will be released. And of course, more Palestinian prisoners will be released, but they need to negotiate the details. But at the same time, Prime Minister Netanyahu is meeting with Donald Trump in the White House. And that will be the first meeting for Donald Trump with a foreign leader. And we will obviously hear what they have to say at a press conference, but it's 2 major events taking place at the same day.
Jotam, when I spoke to you last week, you mentioned people in Israel. They're reluctantly optimistic of everything that's going on. Of course, we're seeing these hostages getting released slowly. What is the mood on the ground now? Has it improved?
I think a lot of... Not really, because what we saw 2 days ago in Khan Yunis, when 2 Israeli civilians, 2 hostages, and 5 Thai people also held hostage were released, it was pure madness. It was a mob basically waiting to lynch these hostages. That's what it looked like. And Israel obviously put pressure on Qatar and the United States and Hamas to not continue the charade where they parade hostages into huge crowds. That didn't happen today, but everyone in Israel, nobody trusts Hamas for good reason. So many are worried that any second the whole thing could break down. They could execute hostages, or they could renew fighting with Israel. So we're really taking it day by day here in Israel, and I'm sure that the civilians in Gaza are probably also extremely worried about whether this ceasefire will hold.
I know I say this every week. Fantastic reporting, Jotam Confino. Thank you so much as we take a live look at Hostage Square, Tel Aviv. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.